we started having a very juicy conversation, and then I was like, stop, I'm recording it so that we can actually share this with other people in case it could help them. Right. So thank you for being here, my beautiful friend Nicolle. I
Course.
love I love that you're here, and I love that your heart is so open to share. And you were just saying something, so why don't you go back to what you were
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I love it because we've had such a good conversation and then the juice starts coming and
Yeah.
we don't record it and we're like, we gotta repeat everything. Well, we were talking about basically your program. What is the name of your program first? Because I want to give it a context.
Yeah, it's option C, elevated relationships.
Ooh, I love it.
The third option, instead of just staying in something or leaving.
Okay. Okay.
And it could be applied to anybody, parents. I've had people tell me I want to repair my relationship with my mother, my teenage daughter. Obviously my focus was always marital or common law relationships because I'm a divorce lawyer, but I know that this can be applied to any relationship. And I know that the key relationship is the one that we have with ourselves, which I'm sure ties to what you're about to say. It really just comes back to us. Everything we manifest, everything we create, our career, our business, our wealth, our all of those things. This one, I'm coming in at a different angle of like focus on somebody who really wants to upgrade their relationships.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. So just giving a context, Rad and I met at the also referrals of Karen that I was collaborating with in one of my masterminds. She said, you need to meet this woman. When I was about to jump on a call with the lawyer of my children's father.
Yeah.
And it was like something that an opportunity that I have created, that I thought I created to go into negotiation. And with a relationship that I felt has been really a horrible relationship, particularly since our separation. And definitely like a big part of the experience, even though I am very much about responsibility and how I operate. And this is one of the things I remember you gave me that feedback, like at some point where you're like, wow, you always take it back to you. And I love this because this is what I want to bring into people. So even though I have that, there's a big part of me where it's like the other person is the difficult, the complicated, like he's just doesn't, like.
Yeah. And it makes sense, babe, because you were emotional, right? So
Yeah.
it's harder when you're in it because it's triggering our ego.
Exactly. So that's the context that we met. And I was like, whoa, there's a ex-lawyer that gets that we can create win-wins for all, which has always been my intention. And I have set this intention with the lawyer, with him. I'm like, my intention is to create win-win, to find something that fulfills everyone. And that includes the person we're working with. And this is when she came in. This is what you came in. And it felt like such like, okay, someone inside of this world is opening up and is doing this amazing needed work. I was like literally off the hook, like hormonal and emotional, and like going through my own life middle, like 30 years old crisis really at that moment. So I just didn't have the capacity. And so having a third party come in with this ground, it would have like, I personally believe like maybe we would have unfolded this that it is when by still staying connected or united in some way, or even transition in a very harmonious way, in a very beautiful way, which wasn't the case for us. And today, like through the process, like I literally was praying for someone that could have this awareness when we were going through the separation. I just had no idea where to find it. It was like, wow, like where is the people that are not going to play one team? And like, if I'm in your team or against the other team, like, fuck that. It was just like, I had no idea where to find it. Like, and like, I was part of my deep hurt through the journey of my separation was our family transition, I'm going to call it, was that I was like, how can there be no humans that can show up this way? How can there be no humans that can show up as a neutral entity, that it's holding the pain, the conflict, the triggers are coming out for the purpose of growth, really, that can shine the light in that way more than just me. And I'm not even doing this like professional. I would just do it for my friends in the community, right? Like,
so beautiful.
So it was like an answer, like you would have been an answer to the prayers in like the multiple stages. Thing is that I don't think I don't think people understand in the process sometimes of like the conflict before a separation, you're about to separate, is that the relationship, especially if you have children, doesn't end.
Never ends.
It never ends.
Ever. Yes,
And
please.
so,
Thank you. I was gonna say the same thing. I'm like, 90% of my clients had kids. Like, where do you think you're going? And who pays for the conflict? Your kids. And we don't want it in the moment. And we, all of us, when we snap at our kids, when we do things, we know in the back of our head. And so my desire is to support those people who need tools and resources and love and compassion, and to understand how to navigate these complicated waters in a different way. You're like the 5th person this month that has said to me, I wish I knew you when I was in the mess of it, and that I looked for that and I read the books, and I couldn't believe it. But it's like, what do you mean? There must be something else. And my friends were like, no, I was listening to all these experts in the field. There was no true conscious, they couldn't get their hands on it. So if it existed, they never saw it. They never found it.
no, I didn't either. And
Yeah,
I was looking for
crazy.
it. Like I was looking for it. It was like whatever was there was like very surface. Like it was very surface. I remember like how do I like repair? And it was all like how to get your man back. And it was all these like manipulative things that were just like, nah, no.
Yeah.
And honestly, I want to say one more thing about working with
Yeah.
you that has been super powerful is the level of authenticity and realness. Like you're probably of all the people that I've paid for, that I work with, that show up in such a real ass way. I'm like, that to me is so valuable in itself, because you embody the essence and then you show up in it, and it's like, it's so organic. I think it accelerates the process in itself, just being able to work with someone, like you said, that is just like showing up as they fully are and relating in such easeful way.
Thank you.
So yeah, I highly recommend working with these gorgeous women. Please
Thank
get
you.
her
Thank
across.
you.
Like,
Thank you. And when I see your posts, you are the freedom embodiment. I feel it. Like I see it. I'm like, ah, there she is, just being her authentic, gorgeous self. So I feel the same way about you.
we love each
Yeah.
other.
We love each other.
Yeah.